Hi, I'm Missy and I write the blog Rambling Rose Farmhouse. And today I'm going to show you how to can blueberries without adding sugar. So I was really excited when I learned that you could can blueberries without adding sugar to them, because I usually just freeze all of my blueberries for the simple reason that I did not want to have to add sugar to them when I can them. I like to use blueberries in smoothies, in pancakes, in muffins, and in cobblers. That's mainly the way that we use them. So this year I learned how to can them without adding sugar to them, and that's what I'm going to share with you today. The good thing about canning blueberries is that this uses a water bath canner. I have my water bath canner here. It's already getting heated up. And so that means it's quick, it's easy, and you're not having to deal with a pressure canner, which a lot of people are kind of scared of a pressure canner. You know, they're not hard to use, but a water bath canner is definitely easier to use because you're not dealing with the high pressure and all of that. Today I'm going to be canning my blueberries in pints. So I already have them in a pot right here because this is a it's called a hot pack method that you do. So we're going to heat the blueberries up just until they're heated all the way through, and then we're going to put them in the jars. Now I'm using pint-sized jars. I have them over here. So what I did is I measured out just pints of blueberries and I put them in here to try to be really close to the amount I'm going to need. So I can fit 9 pints into my water bath canner, so I actually put 10 pints of blueberries in the pot because they will shrink once they're cooked, and so more berries will fit in a jar than they do when they're raw. So to do this method, we're just going to add a little bit of water. I actually have 2 pints of water in here, and I'm using filtered water, but I may not use it all. We just want to have enough water in the bottom so that they won't stick to the bottom of the pot. So, let's see. I'm going to stir this a little bit. Okay. That looks good. So I probably used about a pint of the water. I'm going to go ahead and turn this on and get the blueberries heated up. So I also have a pot of water in the back right here that I'm going to go ahead and get to boiling in case I need some extra water when I put my blueberries in the jars. I might not even use that, but it'll be there if I do need it. And then in this other pot over here, I have my lids. So they need to be heated up. So I'm going to go ahead and get those going too, so they can just heat up a little bit, and then I can leave them sitting in the pot. And like I said, I already have the canner heating up because you want the water to be warm in the canner when you put your blueberries in there. So I did wash these blueberries, and I tried to pick all of the stems and everything out before we got started, but you might see me reach in there and grab a stem if I happen to see one. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stir these berries as they're heating up, because we don't want them to stick to the bottom of the pan or anything like that. You can see that the berries have changed color. They've become darker, and they are pretty much heated all the way through now. I'm trying to stir gently because I don't want to crush all my berries, but a little crushing does happen. But this is what they should look like. Now I'm going to leave these. And what I have my jars full of hot water, just sitting there full of hot water, so they'll be ready for the warm blueberries to go in them. So right now I'm going to go and I'm going to dump all of the water out of my jars. get them ready to fill with berries. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and fill my jars with the berries. Okay, I am going to throw a few more berries in here so that I can fill that last jar up. Okay, so just take a minute to get these warmed up enough, and then we'll finish filling that jar. And while these are heating, I'm going to go ahead and take some of these out because I got some of these jars too full. So I need to get a few of the berries out of these that are too full. Okay, the rest of those look pretty good. Okay, these look good now. So I'm going to fill this last jar up. You can tell that my liquid is up to here and it needs to be up to here, and each jar is a little different. This one is here, so I'm going to get, if I can get any more of this liquid out of my pan, I'll fill these up the rest of the way. Okay, so now I'm just going to have to use my water that I have boiled back here. Okay, so I switched things around so my lids are here so that you can see what I'm doing. So the first thing we need to do is clean, just take a wet paper towel and make sure that you clean the top of each jar, because if there's anything on these jars, that is what will keep your lids from sealing, and you want your lids to seal. So you just want to wipe your jars really good, and see these had blueberry juice on them. So I've got them all wiped now, and I'm going to grab my little magnetic wand to pick up my lids, because this is hot water that they've been in, and I'm going to place them one on each jar. I'm going to grab my rings and screw them on. And I'll place them into the canner. So as I screw on the lids, and I'm going to screw to where they're tight, but not excessively tight. So just finger tight. I'm going to go ahead and place them on the canner rack. Here is the canner full, and I'm going to put the rack back down into it. And we need about 2 inches of water over the top of the jars, and it is, so we should be good in that way. And I'm going to go ahead and put the lid on and bring this to a boil. So it's taken about 15 minutes for the water to start boiling, and now I'm going to put the top back on it and let it boil for 15 more minutes, because you do the water bath for 15 minutes, and then I will come back and show you what they look like when I take them out of the canner. Okay, so I turned the heat off, and it's been sitting here with the lid off of it for about 15 minutes. It's still pretty hot, but I'm going to go ahead and take the jars out so that you can see what they look like. I'm going to sit them right over here on this dish towel, and then as soon as I get them all out, I am going to cover them so that they can dry, cool a little bit slower. Oh, and I don't know if you heard that, but one of the seals just popped, so that's the sound you have to be listening for. The popping of the lids. Look how pretty those are. So after these are completely cooled, I'll check to see if all of the lids are sealed down just by pushing on them. When they're sealed, they'll be cupped down a little bit, and if they make noise when you push on them, it means they're not sealed. And then I'll take the rings off, and they'll be ready just to place on the shelf, and they will be ready to use. So I'm going to go ahead and cover these up with a dish towel just to let them cool. I hope this video was helpful to you and that you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. I really do appreciate everybody who watches my videos and helps me grow my channel. And if you go ahead and try to can some blueberries, let me know how that turns out for you in the comments. I don't think you'll have any problems. It's really an easy process, and I have already used some of the blueberries that I canned in some blueberry muffins, and they were delicious, so they worked out really well. So I'm excited to have a different way that I can preserve my blueberries for the winter, because like I said, I usually freeze them, but they take up a lot of space in the freezer. So this frees up a little bit of freezer space for me for other vegetables and meat and things that needs to go in the freezer. So anyway, thank y'all for being here today, and I hope to see you again soon.